Hi, welcome to Mama Mosey Tarot. Today seems like it might be a little bit of a rough reading. On the bottom of the Alley Man's Tarot, I've got the Oracle of Plain Secrets is what I'm going to use for the main bulk of the reading, the meat of it. But bottom of the deck energy for the other two decks, and I might pull from those as well, I'm not sure yet. We've got the Joker, and I haven't looked at these yet, so I don't know what's in this left hand of mine. But this is something that you've utilized, made use of, and used unfairly, and it's making its own plans to take its control back, basically. And then we've got unkindly death, but what is this? Hope? Yeah, this is hope. So this is, something is going to change here for you, and it needs to. It's not going to be pretty, but have hope with this change. Just kind of really listen and don't fight it, because fighting it is just going to leave a trail of bodies behind you with the 5 and the 4 of Cups here. Don't discount emotions either. You need to listen to this person who's going to bring these grievances to you. You had a hand in this. Whether you thought you were doing it or not, it happened, and it was at your hand. You have built this system, okay? You might have been playing a part. You might have been playing a part, but the damage still occurred, all right? On the bottom of the alleyway tarot, we have Scorpio, and I haven't looked at these two. I've got 2 that I'm picking up right now. I don't know what they are yet. This is somebody staying for longer than they should have, but this has a twist to it after looking at these cards for a minute. This is, and I just saw a card down there, that's what that reaction was about. This is somebody that has stayed in a situation for a long time. They've dug in and really stuck where they shouldn't. And the fact that it's a scorpion and that sometimes their stingers are active even when they're not meant to be. This tells me somebody is planning something that might really get your attention, okay? And then we've got, oh, fuck. We've got Justice and the 2 of Obelisks under that. And then the other card that I did look at was the 6 of Pentacles, I believe. Yeah, the 6 of Pentacles. So this is, this might have brought up some childhood wounds for them. And I think with this 2 here and this Justice here, right next to each other, there is still chance, and the reason you're getting this reading, there is still a chance to stop this. So if you've been using somebody, it might have been just a habit of yours, but this more feels like it brought up some bullshit from their childhood that they haven't really healed from yet, and it's put them like, fuck you. And they're going to put a lot of energy into it. So with this Virgo card, you have got to put a lot of energy into realizing your culpability. Even if you didn't mean to, you didn't plan to, you didn't try, you didn't do it with any anger or anything like that, there was still hurt there, and you still have been using this person. With this Joker card here, this is a wild card, but it is a wild card in that the result can be a little chaotic if you don't change your ways. Okay, this person might need to just, you might need to have a talk with them and be like, look, I'm really not doing this to you on purpose. It's this whole system that we have, and really explain it to them so they understand it wasn't out of any malice or spite. I say maliciousness a lot when I shouldn't, I guess. It's been pointed out. But I want to see what you need to do exactly, because of course the answer is, oh yeah, listen, talk to them, explain, communicate, and all that, but I really want to see why you're getting this reading and what you need to be paying attention to. So practice. It didn't pop out, so I'm going to put it back in the deck actually, but this is a card of doing something over and over and over and over again. I think being sincere and not sloughing off blame might be something you need to practice, but we're not sure yet, and it didn't flop on the desk, so I'm not going to read too much into it. But this might be, okay, yeah, it's generational trauma here, and with this Generations card, this is something that might have been running in your family, where that's a normal type of relationship for you. God, I keep forgetting what this fucking card means. It's no way home. It's a call for rest and healing, but in the location would be strange. It's like a place where you don't know. So I think the fact that what you don't know, this place that you don't know, is self analyzation. And you've got to get to it. So that's why this is being brought to your attention. You still have time to salvage this relationship, whatever kind of relationship it is, but you've got to put some work in, as the theme with all of my fucking readings. There is work here. And this isn't something that you need to take lightly either, because I just saw the laser blaster here, which is indicative of taking something not as seriously as you should be given the subject matter, right? So don't push this person's, oh, well, why do you feel that way? That's dumb. Don't do that. Or you shouldn't feel that way. It's not my fault. feelings don't, I don't know, their feelings might not recognize blame, you know, if they put all the blame on you. It might not be as easy as explaining to them, this the way this thing is. And for some of you, that's not the way to go about it at all. You really need to examine yourself, because this is your fault. You did this on purpose. You know you were using this person. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. If you want to salvage this relationship, this is the time, and it's going to leak. Okay, don't make any big promises, though. Don't be like, I'll never hurt you again. Be like, look, this is something that's not going right between us in terms of communication, work, whatever it is. You've got to figure that out if you want to salvage this relationship. Don't make any sweeping promises, like I was saying. You can't be like, oh, I'm never going to hurt you again, because you're human. And you don't know how difficult this is going to be. So just take that step, start. It's not the end of the world if this doesn't work out exactly right, if you're feeling the blame. This is, I think it's Everfire. No, not Everfire. Everlight. Still might be wrong about that. But this is a card of recognizing that everything, even the stars, die, and that nothing is here forever. But that does make things more holy in the moment. You get what I'm saying? So, while this might seem like a small thing to you, it might be huge to somebody else, because it obviously brought up some fucking issues, and you have issues you need to get over as well. That was sweet. Okay, Blessing and Medusa. I actually have not gotten Blessing before, so hold on, I'm gonna look that up. Okay, you saw those two cards jump out onto my and land on my chest. This is you. These two cards are specifically for you, tied to something about you. Blessing is, and that was the first thing that I saw. So this is less about who you are as a person, more about who you can be. Okay, both of these cards are from the Oracle of Secrets, and when I do remember to bring it up, I tend to read the Oracle of Secrets cards, which are mixed in here together with the Oracle of Play. I tend to read them, Play as the more what you present to the world in your facade, and then Secrets as what's going on up in here and in here. So this is, like I said, this with generations, this seems to be how you were raised, to have relationships like this, to where people might say or think or feel that you're using them because of how this relationship is. And this is you. This is Medusa, this card of somebody making something like simple when it's not, or making something complex when it's not. This creature doesn't know that she is terrorizing a kingdom, but she is, because they've claimed her monster because of how she lives. All she's doing is living. All she's doing is eating. All she's doing is killing people to eat. But it's the killing part that makes her a monster in others' eyes from other perspectives. So, to counteract that, you need to open up. You need to open up with yourself, and you need to open up with other people that you're in relationships with, and let them know, hey, look, I've recently discovered that my childhood was kind of shitty in that I don't really have healthy relationships with people because I'm too scared of being vulnerable, or I think that there are parts of me that people can't accept, so I hide it, and then I am overly aggressive or flirty, whatever personality type you want to put on top of that. It's hiding who you truly are. But this card of Blessing, it's so pretty. It says there's beauty in being vulnerable and sharing who you are. And that's what this is. You need to recognize that who you are might not be the best not who you are might not be the best. How you, not interpret either, how you feel your relationships, how you live your relationships is not to the full depth that it could be, because you have not accepted yourself and shared yourself to the full depth that you could. You are not getting the right relationships, so the type of relationships you have are shitty. Okay? And I noticed you're in space and everything's fucked at the bottom of the deck. And this is a card of getting out of your own head, getting out of your own echo chamber. Stop not putting yourself in situations where it's so easy to tell yourself that the answer is the same, that you don't need to change, that there's nothing wrong with you, that this person is just misinterpreting things and it's not your job to translate yourself for people. People should just know you and love you, but you're not letting anybody know you. Jeez. And I suspect that's out of a way to keep safe. It's just a way that you saw how to be, maybe. I know this card, I know this one is the heart. And it's about carrying pieces of a story with us that are ours, but not necessarily the whole story. And then again, we got Laser Blaster. So we got Heart is the first one that I knew, that I was aware of, so we're going to go with that one first. You're carrying stories and parts of you that are yours, but that you don't necessarily need to be burdened with. It's not the whole story. It is just a part of it. That card is so pretty. I love it. It's like a pink foil. And you need to do some work. Like I was saying here, you need to take this work seriously. You need to take these stories and your what might have been trauma, seriously. This is, on this card, this is a card of a tool of play, a laser blaster, right? It's fun, it's good. It represents guns. Guns are very serious matter. Guns are not play. Guns are tools, okay? So take this seriously. Do not discount these stories that you have, that you're finding little bits and pieces wrong, where you're like, what? Okay, you have got to dig into yourself. And really, that sounds bad. And really put effort, heart, and passion into this. Don't just be like, oh, well, yeah, okay, it's gonna work. I'm really thinking about it. You have to take it seriously. See, only by taking it seriously can you truly get to the depths of what's going on with you and what went on in your childhood. And what you need to shift so that you have healthy relationships, so that people don't feel taken advantage of by you. Because from what it looks like, you don't really want to do this. You're just kind of unaware of how sharp your stinger is, unaware of how much damage you do when you aren't careful. So, and this might come from a habit coming from not feeling seen or heard. This is trapped in a closet. This is indicative of feeling like everybody's looking over you. You might have started acting out because that part of you thought wasn't good, so nobody noticed, so you started creating and cultivating this personality that would get you noticed. Okay. Oh, alright. Oh, jeez. God, you got some inner child issues, but it's all good. Hold on. Okay, so the cards that came out were White Dragon, Wormling. This is, I get this a lot as childhood wounds, childhood trauma, stuff like that. But this is, again, indicative of, with this Generations card, tied in, something happened in your childhood to make you think this way. So, shadow work is called for. Like I was talking about, telling yourself those stories, you need to find out what parts you weren't told. And what parts were changed. And when you look at what parts were changed, then you'll help. And Moth Children didn't come out surprisingly, but Moth Children is a card that says that if you start to analyze stories that you're told and find differences, if you find those differences and find out what was changed in that story that you were told, you might be able to understand why that story was changed. Possibly to make somebody look better, feel better, blah, blah, blah. Shitty parents, shit like that. So, we've got shadow work. And I've talked about shadow work before. Shadow work is not something that you just do in a journal. It's not something that you do like 15 minutes a day and just move on with your day and forget about it when you're done. Shadow work is constant. You have constantly got to be watching yourself, especially if it's deep-seated like mine is. You have got to constantly watch yourself and make sure that things you're saying are not coming off as vicious, venomous, any of that, any type of attempts at power or control that you might have done before. So you're going to have to analyze your habits, how you move about in the world even. It's going to be a lot of work. But with this, I think you're going to have a lot of anger to let go of. And don't be afraid to. This card is a good card of anger, that anger, when used in a constructive way, not a venomous way, when used in a constructive way, is a very, very good tool, and that's what you're going to need. You have got to do the shadow work every single day, minute by minute almost. But feel that anger. You are allowed to be angry, of course. It is a feeling and it is valid. But don't misuse it. Don't aim it at people who didn't hurt you or slight you. And that's what that card, that anger, is from being hurt, slighted, not treated the way that you should have been. Okay? You've got to do some inner child work. Something, yeah, there's something. Alice is Missing is a card that makes me think of the Lovely Bones. How everything looks nice and fantastic with a white picket fence and everything like that, but beyond is very sinister and dark. Something is, I think you're going to find out some things that you're really going to need to work to accept as part of you, but not you. So don't use it to victimize yourself and be like, well, this happened to me. It did. And changing your life for the worse now isn't going to make it unhappen. The best revenge you can get is saying, yeah, and? Still did better than you, bitch. That's my own personal. I did just see Moth Children, though. It didn't flip out. So it might have been stories you're telling yourself, not necessarily stories about your childhood. Stories you're telling yourself about the damage that you've done. So go back through old relationships. Ooh, okay. That's way too fucking many. So I haven't looked through these cards yet. I just picked them up. This one's stuck in my hand though, and I usually don't read this. I haven't looked at them yet. I usually don't read this many when they fly out, but I need to. I feel it. So we've got the heart. Now this one is the crux of the issue. So I'm guessing with all these cards, it's going to let us know what you really need to start on or what your goal should be. But we'll get into that as we get out through the cards. So we've got the heart, number 1. And then we've got, what is this? Creation. Okay, so this is a card of creation. So creation might be your way through this pain. Let's see what else we have though. Finders Keepers. This is, okay, so Finders Keepers is a card of a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Something has been left. This is not being given to you specifically. This is not any special type of, oh, here you go, sweetheart. This is just the universe. Something has lined up here, and this is your chance. So with this creation card, let's see what else we got. Oh, that which lies beneath. Yeah, you're going to get some work here. You've really got some work to do. Memory Sift. Okay, again, another card I haven't gotten, and then we've got the Wanderer. So this is, and this one was reversed. And then this card upright, I don't think this deck really lists reversals, but I'm going to look it up because I got to look up Memory Sift. I hardly get that one. But we've got creation here. This is a card of creation, so you need to create your way through this. If you need to journal your pain, if you need to write your pain, if you need to just start writing out all your memories, especially the Memory Sift card. If you need to start writing out all your memories, now is the time. Just get to it, just get started, just get working, okay? With this, that thing which lies beneath, I think you're going to uncover some shit. There's going to be some things here that you've been hanging on to as a kind of, I don't want to say sick or twisted, but it's like an alternate comfort blanket. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, this is, I can handle this. Why would I let go of the rage and anger from this? That gets me through everything. You're going to have to let go of that, okay? With this Memory Sift card, this is really, really, and I'm not going to look this up because these are oracle cards. I'm just going to go with what the rest of these cards are. This is going to be something where you're going to have to start with the big memories, because the Wanderer is like a day-to-day thing. Finding joy in your daily rituals, basically. But with this Memory Sift and the Wanderer here, in reverse, this is, don't just fly past everything and be like, oh, yep, that's one thing. Oh, yep, that's another thing. Don't categorize. Don't just group everything and then think you're going to group heal everything. You've got to address these issues one at a time. This is like a sieve. You've got to one at a time, just fucking little pieces coming through that you've got to address and heal. You cannot hang on to, because if you let, with these cards, the way they're set up, you need to get through this. You need to create your way through this if possible. Use it in a positive light. If you're a writer, a singer, whatever, just write. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to match. It doesn't have to rhyme. It doesn't have to be what you consider good. Just create. Get it out there. At some point in the future, you're going to be able to get back to that notebook, and you're going to look back at that, and you're going to really start to see how far you've come, okay? But don't jump from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. Take your time with this, because if you leave, and what I'm getting from this card, if you leave a little bit, like those friggin' Chinese orchids, if you leave just a little bit, it's just gonna fucking fester and come right back. Make sure you are getting down to the root on this one, okay? But we've got ancestor cards on the bottom of the deck. Now this is looking to the past, talking to parents, grandparents, great-grandparents if you got them. And if they're not like toxic as fuck, of course. But look through history, and this can also be, I didn't want to say it earlier, but look through all your past relationships and see where they might have gone wrong at some point. It doesn't have to be the first thing you do, obviously. But with this Ancestors card, ask for help. Look for help. Look for messages, lessons, things to learn in stories in your history and stuff like that. All right. I'm gonna split the deck once and see what we get. Workboard. Again, okay, so this is a different perspective. Look at things from a different perspective, from a different angle, not the angle you always have. That's going to be another step that you need to take, okay? But do not forget, you've got to go through piece by piece and get every little bit out. Every little piece out, okay? You got to heal, 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 heal. It's okay to feel your anger. Use it constructively, all right? Take a fucking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, or Krav Maga, or Muay Thai. Use your anger constructively, okay? And get ready to do some hard work to get through this. But if you can, I think, and especially if you ask this person for help that you've been using in the wrong way, I think if you ask them for help, they will be more than willing to. Actually, you know what? I picked up all the cards from the Oracle Playing Secrets. I'm going to real quick run through Allie Mann's Tarot and see if this person is meant to help you or not. This person that you're taking advantage of. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. So that's... it's going to take some convincing. I'm just not even going to show you the card because it's just... 8 of Tentacles. I think it's going to, if you do want this person to help you, it's going to take some convincing. And it might be worth it before you start the work, you know? So, and they might need time as well. Let me see. Okay, so they're not going to be so keen to help. So what do they need to do? Do they need to wait? King of Cups. Keep control of your emotions. Be patient. I think this person will come around with this. They're going to be controlling their emotions here and keeping it seemingly closed off, but they're going to be looking to you for explanation and a change in behavior at least. And then once they see that change a little bit, see that you're actually really working, they might... yeah, they're going to have to see a little bit of work from you, a little bit of emotional building here with that 8 of Cups. So you might want to talk to them, be like, hey, maybe confirm, you know? Be like, if you've been feeling used by me, I'm really sorry. I just found out that I might be taking advantage of you, other people maybe. Ooh, yeah. Offer it sincerely. Offer this request sincerely. Be like, I know it's unfair of me to ask you to help when I've just hurt you without even really noticing or knowing. And that will create a spark in them. And I think they will be a little bit more interested in helping you in the day-to-day, like in your daily conversations. They'll be like in the random texts. It's not going to jump right back on. It's going to be more of like, they're going to text you like once every week or so. I don't know how long that's going to last, but they're going to text you for a little while, and if they can see that you can handle the criticism that they might give you, because you might not have changed that aspect yet, if you can handle criticism and actual help from them, it's going to kindle a fire in them to help you. And I just saw the final tarot card, so beyond that, is up to you. Any cards that I could read beyond this are going to be a light, maybe a potential pathway, but it could distract you from seeing other pathways if you see this one in your head. So I'm just going to stop, actually. Yep, I'm going to stop. You've got some work ahead of you. Don't be afraid to open up and communicate with these people that you may have hurt. And share yourself. God. Especially after you do some work, and be like, hey, you have a second to talk? Don't trauma dump. Don't just fucking trauma dump on them and be like, oh, that's it. That's everything. Now you understand me, so I don't have to change a thing. Don't do that. Actually work towards adjusting maybe some habits about yourself that make people feel less than appreciated. Okay? It's going to be some work, but I know you got this. All right? Love you.